Okay, who's first? Me. He's so good at this game. When I first moved to Houghton Village, I was in first grade. There was always a bunch of kids outside running, playing. There was like a bike gang. We would always meet up at a certain time and ride our bikes around. I had so much comfort knowing that I can go outside and be secure with my friend group. Just being here has just helped me grow as a person. Just living in Newton and attending Newton Public Schools has allowed me to really just get all the tools that I believe I needed to be in this position.
In the late 60s, there was a lot of turmoil nationally and a lot of controversy over the need for affordable housing and building it in the suburbs.
Then the fair housing started to come along, and that was in the early 60s and 70s, and almost at the same time when the first initial ideas of NCDF were created.
The Newton Clergy Association got together and been talking about the crisis in housing that existed in suburbs and in Newton, and they passed a resolution that they would form a new nonprofit organization called the Newton Community Development Foundation.
NCDF was probably the first suburban nonprofit that I know of in the country that said we have to do something in the suburbs, that we have to do more than just rebuilding in downtown Boston.
It was so exciting. It really was. They'd have public meetings. There'd be hundreds of people there in support. Yes, we're going to do this.
So the board and the leadership came together and developed a plan. We had tremendous support from the local community and the leadership. At the same time, there was significant neighborhood opposition, as you might expect. But we went forward and we were hoping to get rezoning of the parcels.
The fears about affordable housing, fair housing, equal rights, all those social issues have been around since, well, they passed the Housing Act in '68.
Unfortunately, there was one vacancy on the Board of Aldermen. We needed 18 votes and we got 17 votes. That was disappointing, but the board met and decided that they wanted to push forward.
I think NCDF is undervalued in this community significantly, because it would have been so easy for them to pack up the bags and say, this is just not going to work. But they didn't do that. And I hope the 50th year celebration has an opportunity for people to get a better look at NCDF, see what it's contributed to the community, and use NCDF as a model to continue to do more.
There was a lion.
Yeah?
2 million birds.
Hey, we already saw the bird.
We came to Massachusetts about 11 years ago for the medical reason of one of my child who is a very complex medical need. Me and my family always wanted to live in Newton area. It reminds me of home a lot. And we landed into a neighborhood which is just like a great place to be in. So this was like a dream come true when I was called like about 5 years ago.
The first thing that people say to me when I tell them that we develop and manage affordable housing in the city of Newton is, there's affordable housing in the city of Newton? The average price of a home now is well over $1 million, so the need here is grave. You build it, they will come, but you need to have those programs and services to augment the tenancy.
The most important thing that we do as resident services is that we bring people together. We get them out of their apartment. That's beneficial for their mental health, their physical health, and their overall well-being.
I knew it was time for me to sell the house. So I said to my son, Tom, let's go and look at Weeks' house. And I walked in that lobby and I knew I was home. to have the programs, the people that run Weeks House are so smart about programs that they inspire everybody, and they get people together, and it's just a great feeling to live here. It's wonderful. That's such a lovely picture of Lauren and her husband.
My mother came to Weeks House 16 years ago. She was homeless. I saw an ad for Weeks House. I came and met with Corey, who is a long-term property manager here. And basically at that moment, Corey changed my life, because Corey met with me and listened to about my mom and our situation, and basically said, wow, we'd love to have her. I have never had somebody welcome me or my mother so completely. And from that moment on, my mother's had 16 years of real happiness. So this has been, for my mom and for myself, an incredible gift.
There ought to be equal access to housing for everybody, no matter what your income is. The fire, the police, the wonderful school program that we talk about all the time, they can't live in the city that they serve so well.
I don't foresee the need for affordable housing lessening anytime soon. In fact, I think the need for affordable housing is probably greater now than it was back in 1968. With that said, we will continue. We will take advantage of any subsidies that are available to us. We will continue to expand our resident services and programs.
But you have to have a political will. You can't just have a good nonprofit like we are. The citizens have to make that call. They have to elect the right people. They have to see the need. They have to realize it's not a threat.
NCDF has shown you it can be done, and there's no reason why we should be so afraid of taking on more projects like they did. There's more to be done, a lot more to be done.